This is the FIBA U17 Basketball World Cup live in Turkey, and we're in the home stretch of Group A, number 2. Down in Group C, history is about to be made. For the first time ever, it's New Zealand meeting Puerto Rico. This is Aaron Sanders. Thank you for joining us wherever you may be. This is the final game on the docket today, as all teams are set to take a day off and head into the final group day on Tuesday. But we have two teams that have never met in this stage of basketball before. So you're in for a fantastic game. A look at the scores in game day number 2. Australia topping Ivory Coast, France defeating Italy by 20, and Canada surging through to get their first win in group competition. So good on Chris Chang and company. And now we have New Zealand and Puerto Rico standing by. A look at the standings in Group C. Puerto Rico and Turkey with a win each. Turkey is playing as we speak, and New Zealand, they were this close for causing an upset yesterday, and we'll start the story with them. New Zealand, lots of numbers to break down for you, but I'll keep it simple. Jaden Cecil had a game in which a lot of players would love to have. He had a 42-point performance in which he scored 10 of those in the third quarter. However, the main story was the double overtime thriller between Turkey and New Zealand, in which Turkey prevailed 112 to 100. This came after New Zealand gave up 37 points to them in the fourth quarter, and they had a 25-point lead late in the third quarter. All of that disappeared. And in the double overtime frame, they were 2 of 7 from field goal range. They scored only 4 points. So Jaden Cecil's 42 points, despite it being the third best performance in U17 history, it wasn't enough to seal the deal. Puerto Rico got their first win in group play against Slovenia yesterday, 92 to 78. That too was also the first ever meeting between those two teams. They used a 13-0 run in the second quarter to pull away from Slovenia, and it was led by Dwight Gaines. Well, you know what they say. Slovenia's loss ended up being Puerto Rico's gains, as he dropped 32 points after starting 0 of 4 against Slovenia. 32 points, 12 of 25 from the field, and this is a U16 AmeriCup All-Star 5 member that averaged close to 22 points per game. So Puerto Rico, they qualified in the FIBA U17 Basketball World Cup by finishing 4th. In last year's U16 AmeriCup, they lost to Venezuela in the bronze medal game, and therefore gave them their second bronze medal overall. They had a 2-1 record in Group B play in the AmeriCup, and this is a team that's destined to be the best in the free throw line. They ended up shooting 88% yesterday. They shot 67% in the AmeriCup. New Zealand, they won the bronze in the U16 Asia Cup, defeating Japan 93 to 92. Doesn't get any closer than that. And it was their first ever silver medal game in that field. And you have to look out for them, because they ended up averaging 56 rebounds per game in that tournament, second best. They clamped down on 60. Let's step aside for the national anthems for both teams.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthems. First, the national anthem of New Zealand. Himse Ana Ulusal Marşı.
One of the best traditions, not only in the FIBA U17 Basketball World Cups, FIBA tournaments, but worldwide, is a nation tradition, New Zealand, called the haka. And we invite you to enjoy it. A mutual showing of respect from the haka and Team New Zealand. Before we get started, let's take a look at the referees and the starting five. Puerto Rico will start with Jeremy Wilmore, who ended up with 17 points in the victory yesterday. Dwight Gaines, the top player looked after for Puerto Rico. He ended up with the big 3-2. John Arroyo at number 11 only averaged 4 points per game in the AmeriCup a year ago. Darrell Rodriguez and Luis Rosado rounds out the field of 5 for Puerto Rico. New Zealand's head coach, Darren Larson, and the rest of his team getting ready for day 2 of their competition. And in a moment, we'll see the starting lineups for New Zealand. Darren Larson's New Zealand team made it to the FIBA U17s by winning the bronze in the FIBA U16 Asia Cup a year ago and a squeaker against Japan 93-92. New Zealand will start with Mr. 42, that is Jaden Cecil. Orlando Pantoja about to engage in the first ever meeting of Puerto Rico and New Zealand. Jaden Cecil getting the start for New Zealand with Liam Coe, who had 20. Teferi Kate, who ended up with a double-double yesterday, gets the start in the back line. Zach Rampton up front as the center, and Marco Sula will play as small forward to wrap up the starting five. Once again, earlier, you guys predicted who you thought was going to win on our game predictor feature online, and 57.7% of you said Puerto Rico was going to win. It's still a pretty close call. Let us know on the live chat on Facebook what do you think about it, and let us know where you're tuning in from and who you're rooting for as well. We'd like to welcome Ali Salim 810, who became an MVP member of our YouTube tier membership. More on that in just a moment, but it's game time. And speaking of game time, it's New Zealand's time as they win the opening tip. New Zealand ended up shooting 40% from the field in their loss against Turkey yesterday, and Puerto Rico smothering them defensively. Up front for that was Luis Rosado. Rosado, one of many players that represented Puerto Rico in the U16 AmeriCup. John Arroyo guarding the inbounder. Teferi Kate having the rock. Rampton trying to bail him out off of a PAR. Rampton has the ball kicked away from him and will stay with New Zealand. Once again, thank you for those of you tuning in. Big hello to Emily and Ollie and Janine and Kyle tuning in. Here's a double pumper. That doesn't go. Teferi Kate had everywhere but down the crate. Puerto Rico 21st in the FIBA World Rankings, ranked 11th in the U17 Power Rankings that were released prior to this weekend. Go-ahead shot from Gaines, doesn't go, and back comes Kate from Canterbury Basketball. Went to go behind the back, but Gaines is able to beat him to the case. Rosado upstairs. A minute has gone by in this first ever meeting between Puerto Rico and New Zealand and FIBA U17 competition. Wilmore feeds it over to Rodriguez, who lets it fly. Long deuce doesn't go. The rebound picked up by Ko. He had 4 of those yesterday in the double overtime thriller. Cross to Sula, who leaves Cecil wide open. Got it. And Jaden Cecil, who shot close to 43% yesterday, gets New Zealand up on the board. Easy pass for the big man Rodriguez. Gaines trying to get away from his defender, and it's outside of Arroyo. Can't respond. And Rampton will be credited with a rebound. He plays for Nelson basketball back in New Zealand. And a quick turnover leads into an easy deuce. Down low for Jeremy Wilmore. Jeremy Wilmore, who was able to rise up in the U16 AmeriCup last year, dropping 7 points per game and 10 points against the United States in the semifinal, gets his first point on the board. New Zealand dealing with the slimmest of all possible leads right now. 6 on the 24. Fake out from Cecil as he is panicking. Kate leaves it up alone for Zula, who's unable to hit. Arroyo gets it. Gaines asking for a screen, got it. Swings over to the left side, and that shot falls flat. Cecil putting the spin move on there, and he will shoot a pair. Cecil last night, 50% of the foul line, made 2 out of a possible 4 as he gets the spin move off of John Arroyo. Once again, New Zealand had to claw their way to make it back to the U17s after falling short of the podium 2 years ago in Turkey, falling to Turkey. They ended up in 4th place 2 years ago as Cecil makes the first. But it was an incredible run from New Zealand back in 2024, and then they were able to bounce back in the U16 Asia Cup, making the podium as bronze medalists. They fell to China, the eventual silver medalists, in the semifinals of that tournament. The free throw will go. They lost that 86-72, defeated Japan by 1. And in that tournament alone, they have won 3 bronze medals, including the one from last year. Puerto Rico, on the other hand, picked up their 2nd bronze medal in the U16 AmeriCup. Fell short to USA in the semifinals and then lost to Venezuela for the bronze. That running layup is no good. But all that matters now is what happens in summer 2026. And Tafari Kate fills it up to make it 8-2. We went 7 of 13 against Turkey yesterday. Gaines with speed, hits the deck, no whistle. We play on. Kate sending it down to Ko, who goes outside for Cecil, and the whistle is blown out of bounds. Going to get some changes here in just a moment. But first, a timeout is called. 6:31 to go in the opening quarter. Puerto Rico is the only team with a foul, but as New Zealand is ahead 8-2 thanks to Tafari Kate, and a great start for New Zealand. Earlier today, here are some highlights.
How many times are we going to see this? Baseline. Are you kidding me? Papa Nicolau says, give it to me. I'll go attacks the closeout. Feed Bruno inside. Fills it up. It's all right.
want to give a quick shout out to Basic Info Man and Romain Ribot, who are part of the rookie group in the FIBA YouTube membership tier program, where you could unlock exclusive context and get early access to highlights you could pick from our rookie, starter, MVP tiers and get part of our growing community right this very minute. So welcome aboard, folks, to the YouTube membership that FIBA has for you. Back into the game, here is Luis Rosado, who tees it up from long range. That's off the mark. Rebound by Duncan. He had a near double-double performance against Turkey. Lawson Pryor into the game, and prior to that, there's a foul. Puerto Rico gets their second foul of the ball game. And once again, 57% of you said Puerto Rico will pull off of this victory thanks to the game predictor page. And we'll have more on that throughout this broadcast. Kate slicing to the lane and lost control of it. But it was last touched by Arroyo. He went wide on his dribble and the ball ricocheted off of Arroyo. New Zealand getting another break. They go up for Lawson Pryor, and he uses the elbow, and that turns the ball over. Played 4 minutes into the first quarter. And we'll have a look at the other scores from around the FIBA U17 Basketball World Cup when we get a break. But in the meantime, Puerto Rico with only 1 field goal, and that's courtesy of Jeremy Wilmore. They are not starting out pretty well, as they are 1 for 8. Down low to the 10. Travel is called on John Arroyo. New Zealand with Noah Duncan and Jaden Cecil in the backcourt as they bring it up. Here is Cecil, yes. The Utah Prep Academy player adds 2 more, and New Zealand's at the 10-point mark. Dwight Gangs looking to cook, and he can't fill it up. Rosado gliding in for the rebound. Takes the contact afterwards. We'll try again. Look how Rosado just flies in as he battles with Rampton. And Rampton, he smothered him like gravy on Thanksgiving turkey. Meantime, Luis Rosado will head to the line. In last year's U16 America, he averaged close to 6 points and 6 rebounds per game. Last night, he picked up 8 boards and 6 points. He was 2 for 2 at the foul line prior to this shot. Puerto Rico, one of the top teams at the free throw line, 88% yesterday, 67% in the U16s. Second free throw goes in and out. Noah Duncan falls down on the seat of his pants, but nonetheless, New Zealand's able to get it up to the front court. Quick drive, and the deuce is good for Coe. Liam Coe, a member of Kilsyth basketball, dropping it in easily despite the disadvantage. 12-2, New Zealand leading early on. Here is Wilmore from the stripe, got it. As smooth as it can be, Jeremy Wilmore has scored all 4 of Puerto Rico's points. Here's a heat check, and it goes down. Cecil says, I don't think so. My mistake, that's Liam Coe matching his jersey number. Dwight Gaines having trouble. Rosado trying to put the hands on it, but can't. New Zealand picking the speed up. Can't bury it from the side. Loose ball picked up by Arroyo. 3-on-2 opportunity. 3 ball, flat. We're at the 4-minute mark of the first quarter. New Zealand ahead by 11. Noah Duncan hitting the floor in the U16 Asia Cup. He averaged 10 points and 6.5 rebounds per game as he is met by Luis Rosado. Pryor's going to take a breather. Puerto Rico with one more foul to give. New Zealand has 2. Rosado picking up the foul on the last possession. New Zealand ball underneath the 10. Cecil dropped 42 points and is called for a backcourt violation. Great pressure again from Puerto Rico. We see Edwin Albino into the lineup. Albino has pretty good defense. Jackson Cooper in for Pryor for New Zealand. Alexis Fuentes and Albino checked in on the last possession. Puerto Rico looking to make it to the podium in the U17 World Cup for the first time since 2018 when they won bronze. And despite putting on a good first impression against Slovenia in their 14-point win yesterday, they are struggling here in the first. Now, if you try out our new game predictor feature on our website, you will have a shot of winning a FIBA U17 game ball and Nike gift cards along the way. Earlier, 57% of you said Puerto Rico would pull out the victory. And if you want to try it out, you have to make sure you get your predictions submitted 5 minutes before tip-off. Jeremy Wilmore at the line. He was a perfect 4 for 4 against Slovenia, and he knocks down a pair. 17 points for Jeremy Wilmore in the 14-point victory. And he has scored all of Puerto Rico's points as they're trying to make a move here. Marco Sula, the small forward, calls right hand, and he kisses it off the glass. Good night. New Zealand with their depth, able to go coast to coast on the last trip. Wilmore faking on the triple. Fuentes surveying the floor with Dorel Rodriguez in the lineup. Wilmore could help him, but instead he takes it. Fuentes fires and misfires. Wilmore with an in and out dribble. 5 on the clock. Rodriguez fakes left, fires right side, no good. And Fuentes having difficulty with the ball. And if it is a foul on Puerto Rico, that will put them out of fouls to give. We're in Istanbul, Turkey, the site of the 2024 and 2026 U17 Basketball World Cup. A rare occasion to have a host an event for 2 consecutive tournaments. But what a blast it was back in 2024 with USA a dominating effort from start to finish. Turkey shutting down Spain in the knockout tournament. Double team applied by Puerto Rico. This year is set to be a good one. If the first day of competition is any evidence that this will be a special tournament, then we're on the right track. A double overtime thriller, a near triple-double effort. First for everything as the Ivory Coast pick up their very first win and their first appearance in a U17 Basketball World Cup. The list goes on and on. We're under 3 minutes here in the first quarter. The feed for Ko is denied, and here comes Yomar Rodriguez. Cross-court pass intended for Torres. He does a little tightrope act, and he's able to keep it inbound. Fuentes now having trouble. Yomar Rodriguez looking to match his jersey number, and he falls flat on that wish. Fuentes gets the ball. Shot clock continues to roll on. No basket. And a big hello to Kerry Schofield, who's rooting on Will Patton all the way in Hamilton and Morrinsville. And again, a big hello to Coco, who is nursing a foot injury. Hope you're able to get some ice on that foot. Hello to Ollie and everybody else tuning in from Kingsville, Ontario. The free throw is missed by Fuentes. This is his first trip at the foul line. Fuentes ended up with 11 points against Slovenia in the U16 America Cup. There were 3 games where he scored 10 or more points. He ended up with an average of 7.3. Rebound picked up by New Zealand. Pass taken away by Rodriguez. He intercepted that pass like he was a football player. Yoderick Torres in the lane, but not on the scoreboard. Kate with the rebound. Puerto Rico having trouble at field goal range. Cooper with the coupe de loop. Cooper not having any trouble as it's 19-6, New Zealand well ahead. Yadiel Sanchez up with another cross-court pass. The three-point woes continue for Puerto Rico. Reverse shot no good. Tip-in doesn't go either for Yadiel Sanchez. Puerto Rico dealing with the lid on top of the basket. That's how things have been going shooting-wise. Big rejection down on the other end. Can they cash in on it? Kate trying to make up for it for trying to steal it right behind. But Puerto Rico calms things down. We're in the final minute of the opening quarter. New Zealand up by 13. And here is Rodriguez falling flat from top of the key. Sula out to Tay Thompson. Matthias Thompson in the game for the first time. Part of the Auckland basketball team. You have to imagine in a couple of years if we will see a handful of these players in the NBL in Australia. They also have a New Zealand team called the New Zealand Breakers, who I remember winning the NBL championship a decade or so ago. A handful of FIBA players have played down that way. Fuentes on the left side having trouble thanks to Zula. Kick ball will give the ball to New Zealand. And a handful of folks letting us know where they're tuning in from and who they're cheering on. It is an even vote in the live chat between Puerto Rico and New Zealand. Again, 57% in the Game Predictor app said Puerto Rico would win. There's a steal by Albino. Albino, Euro steps and everything. Oh, you better put some sprinkles and chocolate sauce on that ice cream scoop. That was a dandy. So Albino and Wilmore have been the only players that have scored for Puerto Rico. And with 9.6 seconds to go, that still draws up plenty of time to get a decent shot off. Yomar Rodriguez takes a seat. Puerto Rico ball. Side out, and 9.6 to deal with. Here is Gaines, yet to score. He started out 0 for 4 against Slovenia. He fires from the parking lot, off the front. Tipped away, and Fuentes can't get it off in time as the first quarter comes to a close. Strong start for New Zealand as they are up 19-8, and you're watching the 2026 FIBA U17 Basketball World Cup. We'll be back.
What do you think?
Oh my goodness, get out of here.
Attack Bruno.
And then you've got this woman here, Asia. What a finish.
Didn't overplay it as well. Players without playing one-on-one.
Because she's excited with passion. That's 4 rebounds, 6 assists.
Roberts, you gotta love it.
Buckets at the buzzer.
And these fans here in Kobe, they love it. They absolutely love seeing it.
The future of FIBA basketball is right here in Turkey. If you want to catch up on all the updates of the U17s, U19s, and U16 teams and the tournaments that FIBA has throughout the year, subscribe and follow the Next Gen Hoops on Instagram and X. The future of basketball is in great hands. By the way, I just want to give a quick shout out before we start the second quarter to Team Canada, who got their first victory in group play earlier today. Isaiah Clark, the Crestwood Prep player of the OSBA, getting a double-double, helping along the way. Edwin Albino tees it up. That's a much stronger start for Puerto Rico as they're finally at the 10-point mark. Travel is called as the flustering, suffocating defense of Puerto Rico continues to cause fits for New Zealand. Once again, a big shout out to Team Canada and Chris Chang, who is the head coach of the Windsor Lancers, who got their first victory in group play. Isaiah Clark's double-double, who plays in the OSBA for Crestwood Prep. He helped along the way for the Maple Leaf to get their first victory in U17 play this year. Nice breakaway layup is good, and New Zealand looking to stop the damage early on, thanks to Jaden Cecil. Team Canada will play Cameroon on Tuesday. A handful of OSBA talent and players on for Team Canada's side. Isaiah Hamilton, for one, also playing from Crestwood Prep. In the meantime, Puerto Rico will head to the line again. Edwin Albino, who knocked down the triple to start the quarter, gets the first free throw to go. Albino averaged close to 9 points in the U16 AmeriCup a year ago. Second one rattles in easily. For Puerto Rico, bouncing back defensively. And the foul is called on Puerto Rico. And we're back into the ball game. Almost a minute has gone by here in the second quarter. New Zealand well ahead. And they're having trouble now. Puerto Rico stepping up. They are down by 8, and they could cut it to either 5 or 6 on this trip coming up. Here is Jodaric Torres, who had a field goal yesterday. Puerto Rico winning 92-78 against Slovenia yesterday. They're looking to go 2-0, but first rejection. Here is Kate, and he has that sent back too. This time, Ivanio Lopez adding to the block party. Bring the chips and the dip, folks. We got a block party going on here. Right now, a poll on the FIBA YouTube live chat saying simply, who you got? Puerto Rico or New Zealand? We have over 430 votes onto it right now. And a foul as Liam Coe hits the deck. Again, a lot of you tuning in. We're getting some Canadian viewers tuning in after seeing them get the win earlier today. Here's a catch and shoot. Cecil's three is an air ball, and it's scooped up, and Torres runs the floor. And was a little too adventurous on that pass. It was intended for Dwight Gaines, who have yet to score. He had 32 yesterday. He started the game out 0 for 4. Well, right now, Gaines is 0 for 6 to start this day. So we'll see what's going on. Here it is New Zealand ball. And the problems continue for New Zealand. Yoderick Torres eating that moving screen from Zach Rampton. New Zealand ahead 21-13. There was a time where it was only Jeremy Wilmore that scored Puerto Rico's points, but they have piled on the points since the final minute and a half in the first quarter. We played 2 minutes in the second as Albino goes for a wild shot, picked up by Lopez, who tries to put it back in. Albino will try a third time. Loose ball taken away by Puerto Rico, and a strong finish. And I mean strong, because Yoderick Torres did not want to give that up. There is no quit for this Puerto Rico team. What a play, what a sequence. Doesn't get any better than that. So it's a 2-score game right now. And after all that calamity, we're going to step aside. Puerto Rico will head to the line. They are down 21-15 with 7:45 remaining in the half. New Zealand taking a timeout. Back out of the timeout, New Zealand with the lead, but it's Puerto Rico with the run so far to start this second quarter. Here is Yoderick Torres, can't connect on the end one, and they keep poking away at the ball, and is exactly what they need to do. Here is Daleen Pohio into the floor the first time, rebound by Albino. Albino very active in this second quarter, in which Puerto Rico has outscored New Zealand 7-2. The drive in, no good, and Duncan comes up with it. Pryor off the Cecil, leaving it alone for Kate. And we have a whistle. And that was on the shot. So Kate retreats to the line to shoot 3. Here is Kate's resume in the last year and change. A member of Canterbury basketball, played for the New Zealanders in the U16 Asia Cup as he gets the first free throw to go. He was part of the All-Star 5 team, and these numbers, well, they don't lie, of course. 13.8 points per game, 7.8 assists per game, which was good for second in that year's tournament and 5.8 rebounds per game. He is calm, cool, and collected as a cucumber as he drills the first two. Now here comes the third one. New Zealand had some problems scoring early in the second quarter, but it looks like they're getting back into their element. So the lane violation means Kate will shoot one more. This to expand the lead to 9. And that doesn't work either. Albino getting the rebound. Yoderick Torres in the lineup. Same with Dwight Gaines, who starts the game 0 for 6. And Torres gets it back in. Great teamwork, which leads to a reverse. Kate playing keep away. And Pohio steps on the line to the relief of Puerto Rico and their head coach Orlando Pentoya. This is the first ever meeting between these two teams in U17 competition in FIBA. A close one, a 2-score game as Torres looking to bring his team right back into it to cut it to 4, but it's Ivanio Lopez who put it right back in after Torres missed it. It is 23-19. Hey, we got a 23-19. Wonder where that came from. Here's the catch and shoot. Putter there. Quick way to respond. Cecil knocks it down. A 7-point lead for New Zealand again. We played almost 4 minutes in the second quarter. Puerto Rico out of fouls to give. New Zealand has an extra one. Torres second guessed it there for a minute. Arroyo trying to go into the paint. Torres took too much time, and that shot won't count. And it's New Zealand ball. Darren Larson going back to his bench. Lawson Pryor returning. We hope you enjoyed our coverage of the FIBA U17 Basketball World Cup so far. It's only day 2. There will be an off day tomorrow, and we'll go back into the play on Tuesday with a final group day competition before we go to the round of 16. 3-ball, no good. And Gaines jumps his way for the rebound. He's got hops. Wilmore taking his time. He's met by Cecil. Try to drill it, but can't get it. Here is Kate, too strong. Another rebound, and this time coming from Albino. Albino slicing, dicing, coast to coast. Lopez having trouble with Kate. Picked up again. Albino, it spins in. There will be no problems when Albino's on the floor. According to Puerto Rico, they're now stuck by 5. This game has been a good one, especially in the second quarter. Cecil, catch and shoot, foul, and here we go again. So 3 free throws coming up for Cecil. This is the second time we'll have somebody shoot 3. And Puerto Rico's defense, it is smothering. It will give you a lot of suffering, but a little aggressive when they're playing on the baseline and the sideline. And there have been so many times where they could get back into this ball game. A 2-possession game so far, and now it could expand to 3 once again. The score, 26-21, New Zealand over Puerto Rico right now. And substitutions taking place right about now. It's John Arroyo with the personal foul. And Jaden Cecil will shoot all of them. all the free throws. Cecil, 15 of New Zealand's 26 points. Remember, he hit 42 points in a double overtime thriller in which led New Zealand to a 12-point loss. That was a game where they only scored 4 points in the double overtime frame. 2 of 7 from the field. Along with that, they had a 25-point lead late in the third quarter. It all disappeared as they gave up 37 points to Turkey in the fourth quarter, which forced overtime. And here is the third free throw coming up for Cecil. Incidentally, Darrell Rodriguez and Alexis Fuentes checks back in. And by the way, there was a technical foul on Orlando Pantoja, the head coach of Puerto Rico. So it was Cecil who got the first free throw alone, and then the other 3 came with it, and he missed the third one. Last touch by Zula. So Cecil, out of those free throws, going 2 for 4 on that trip. Matthias Thompson has checked in for Lawson Pryor. Here's the spot up Jay. It's good for Gaines. So after going 0 for 6 to start this Sunday afternoon off, he finally gets on the scoreboard. Still a close game. 5 points, the difference. And another backcourt violation. Unfortunate for New Zealand, but opportunity is a knocking for Puerto Rico. Gaines looking to go behind the back, pulls up top of the key, too strong, and it is tapped around or retained by Arroyo, who serves it over Will Patton. He's able to get it over the big man. Puerto Rico outscoring New Zealand here in quarter number 2. 15-9. The jump hook, no good for Patton, but he's able to get contact off of it. Again, New Zealand down to their last foul to give. Puerto Rico will be out of fouls the rest of the half. Earlier today, we saw Canada defeat China 87-78. They were down by a few buckets leading into the fourth quarter. Lithuania starting 2-0 after defeating Cameroon by the score of 94-43. France, along with Nathan Solomon's 23 points, defeats Italy by 20 in a rematch of last year's U17 Eurobasket quarterfinals. USA breezing through Japan. The Ivory Coast falling to Australia by 5, and Serbia defeating Venezuela 84-53. Those are all the games that took place prior to this one. And Turkey leading Slovenia 55-41 at the moment. Puerto Rico continuing to fill it up, and John Arroyo's helping them out. The difference is now 3. Double team on the full court pressure applied. Cecil trying to bail him out. 3 free throws again for Cecil, and Dwight Gaines can't believe it. And again, the discipline of Puerto Rico's defense falling apart. A few seconds ago, they almost executed the full court pressure perfectly. And then once that got broken up, they pressured, and Dwight Gaines was the only one to cover up on Cecil, who misses the first free throw. Remember, Cecil had 2 trips to the foul line before, a technical foul by Orlando Pantoja, the head coach of Puerto Rico, which he made, and he went 1 for 3 because he also got fouled at the 3-point line. He goes 0 for 2 on this solo trip. So New Zealand having trouble at the foul line here in the second quarter. Creighton misses all 3. And the rebound secured by Zula as he hits the deck. And it's a jump ball called, so we'll go to the possession arrow. Good hustle from Sula. And it looks like it will stay with New Zealand. Speaking of New Zealand, their free throws have not been the finest in this contest. 8 of 14 after going 15 of 23 against Turkey last night. And they're still playing with a foul to give. 4 on the 24. And the loose ball taken back by Arroyo. Arroyo sends it to Fuentes, who goes all the way. Fuentes on Fuego. Same with Puerto Rico. Don't look now. But we got a ball game. The slimmest of all possible lead. 1 point separates New Zealand from Puerto Rico. It is 30-29. Puerto Rico has been on fire. New Zealand shooting, however, ice cold. A dominating Puerto Rico run here in the second quarter. They have scored over 20 points in this quarter alone after only scoring 8 at the end of one. A 21-11 second quarter for Puerto Rico. They have capitalized on their defense and a lot of misses from New Zealand. They started out hot, now they're ice cold, and they have the rock. Can Tafari Kate heat them up again? Or could it be Cecil, whose three goes way strong? Patton puts it back in. Muscle. All muscle as he makes it a three-point game again. This was the closest Puerto Rico got before they went on the run prior to the timeout. Rodriguez trying to break free from the ball. Movement off the ball and then splashing down the three is Alexis Fuentes. 5 points in the last 3 trips for him. He has been dynamite. We are tied at 32. Sula locating Cecil. Yes. Matter of fact, it's Jackson Cooper who puts New Zealand back up top. 35-32, under 2 minutes to go until halftime. Rodriguez takes a crack at it and gets it in. Splish, splash, cash. It is a 3-point barrage. New Zealand has led most of the way, but that has changed in the last couple of minutes. Another catch and shoot three. And the air ball contained. And here comes Puerto Rico on the run. Cradle and everything goes down. Fuentes, he now has 7 in the last couple of minutes. Alexis Fuentes on Fuego right now. Patton setting the screen. PAR action will lead into some foul shots. 62 seconds remaining. New Zealand have not fared very well at the charity stripe, but if they could get both of them down, it could help them out and tie this game up. Again, first ever meeting between these two teams in this level of play. And it's been a close one by far. Free throw barrels in for Patton. He is now 3 for 3 in this year's U17s. We are live in Turkey for the FIBA U17 Basketball World Cup. It is a tie ball game between Puerto Rico and New Zealand. And thanks to Patton we have yet another tie, the fourth one in the game. Arroyo taking too many steps off on the fake. Technically for New Zealand, they could go for a 2-for-1 opportunity. 48 seconds remain on the clock. At the end of one, it was 19-8 New Zealand. Oh, the donut missed the coffee this time around for Dwight Gaines. He's had a rough time shooting today, and that would have boosted up a lot of confidence. Cooper drains it from the corner. And it's 40-37. The shot clock is dead for the final 15 seconds of the half. Remember, Puerto Rico was down 19-8 at the end of the first quarter, and they have outscored New Zealand since then. Down to 3 on the clock. The drive from Torres. The shot's no good, and it will not count. It was still in the hands of Rodriguez at the 0-0. But what a close finish here in the first half. The score at halftime, New Zealand 40, Puerto Rico 37, and New Zealand barely getting a lead after allowing a huge run from Puerto Rico. New Zealand being led by Jaden Cecil, who has 17. Puerto Rico, nobody in double-digit figures, but it's Edwin Albino who leads the way with 9 points and 7 rebounds. Puerto Rico has a total of 23 boards. New Zealand, a +2 in their side. They have 25. We'll be back in less than 15 minutes for the call of the second half. I'm Aaron Sanders, and you're watching continuing coverage of the 2026 FIBA
U17 Basketball World Cup.
What do you think?
Oh my goodness, get out of here.
That corner Bogby and Bruno.
And then you've got this woman here, Asia. And what a finish.
Didn't overplay as well. Players without playing one-on-one.
Because she's excited with passion. That's 4 rebounds, 6 assists.
Roberts, you gotta love it.
Buckets at the buzzer.
And these fans here, Kobe, they love it. They absolutely love seeing Nice pass to Suigo. Hammers it in for two. Novas here dishing it off, trying to get going in transition. The steal comes away. Matthews throwing it up top, and there it is. Our first highlight of the day early on in this one. Big time slam from the number 5, Troy Plumtree. Bansa going up against Reed. Oh my goodness! Oh my, AJ DeBansa punish it. Oh, that's a huge rejection from Garavaglia. Get that out of here. And once again, they slow down the offense. Mathis has been allowed to be double-teamed again. And DeBansa holding out for two. They've got to get someone in the middle there. Fake a pass, make the pass, and the timeout call as USA run out to a 10-point lead. Oh, that's nasty, that block. Major pin to the glass, put it on a notice board. Caleb Hall. Stolen away by Spain, pushing forward. A fight for position here. Arnett has it now. It's 3 versus 1. The ball goes to the bucket. Energy! Jumps it home. Right on time. 2-point lead. Yeah, this pass here. Carvalho is knocked away from him. Manda quit throwing it up. Musa. Tries the spin move, his pocket is picked. DeBansa, oh my goodness! Baptism of fire! AJ DeBansa. Steal, Perez loses it. McCoy Jr. off the glass, Stokes! Setting it up to beat the buzzer. A buzzer beater, oop off the glass. McCoy Jr., Tyron Stokes, USA on smoke.
For the and one opportunity.
You ain't never seen nothing like this.
Close out, feed Bruno inside. Fills it up. It's all right.
What do you think?
Oh my goodness, get out of here.
That corner pocket and Bruno.
And then you've got this woman here, Asia.
And what a finish.
Didn't overplay as well. Players without playing one-on-one.
Because she's excited with passion. That's 4 rebounds, 6 assists.
Roberts, you gotta love it.
Buckets at the buzzer.
And these fans in Kobe, they love it. They absolutely love seeing it.
Nice pass to Suigo. Hammers it in for 2. Villanovas here dishing it off. Trying to get going in transition. The steal comes away. Matthews. Throwing it up top, and there it is. Our first highlight of the day early on in this one. Big time slam from the number 5, Troy Plumtree. Bansa going up against Green. Oh my goodness. Oh my, AJ DeBansa punishing. Oh, that's a huge rejection from Garavaglia. Get that out of here. And once again, they slow down the offense. This has been allowed to be double teamed again. And DeBansa holding up the 2. They've got to get someone in the middle there. Fake a pass, make the pass, and the timeout call as USA run out to a 10-point lead. Oh, that's nasty, that block. Major pin to the glass, put it on a notice board. Caleb Hall. It's stolen away by Spain. Pushing forward. A fight for position here. Arnett has it now. It's 3 versus 1. The ball goes to the bucket. Energy! Jumps it home. Right on time. 2-point lead. Yeah, this pass here. Carvalho. It's knocked away from him. Mandaquin throwing it up. Musa. Tries the spin move, his pocket is picked. DeBansa. Oh my goodness! Baptism of fire! AJ DeBansa. Steal, Perez loses it. McCoy Jr. off the glass, Stokes! Setting it up to beat the buzzer. A buzzer beater, oop off the glass. McCoy Jr., Tyron Stokes, USA on smoke.
For the and one opportunity.
You ain't never seen nothing like this.
Welcome back to Turkey as the second half between Puerto Rico and New Zealand is about to begin. New Zealand up 40 to 37, and this game has been closer than what anyone has imagined. I'm Aaron Sanders. Thank you for sticking around with us. This will be the final game on the schedule today. We're seeing that Turkey is ahead in their contest as well. There's been 2 lead changes, and the game has been tied 3 times, and it's because of Puerto Rico's smothering defense, which led to some buckets. Wilmore starting the second half with a missed 3. Edwin Albino leading Puerto Rico with 9 points, and New Zealand has Jaden Cecil with 17 points. Shot off the mark. Here comes John Arroyo. Arroyo getting away through traffic. White gains a rough start for him. He went 0 for 6 before he got on the scoreboard, and he gets an and 1. 4 points for Gaines. He'll look to make it 5 in his very first trip to the line today. He went 5 for 6 in his 32-point performance at the charity stripe. Puerto Rico just breezing through Slovenia 92 to 78. They had a 13-0 run in the second quarter to pull away from Slovenia, and they had a similar run in the second quarter of this game, outscoring New Zealand 29 to 21 after scoring 8 points in the first quarter. Jaden Cecil will take a breather for New Zealand. Liam Coe surveying the floor and locates it out to Kate, who in return sends it down to an extra passer, and it is Marco Sula who rings it up. Foul trouble right now for New Zealand. Cecil, their star player, he has 3. And Puerto Rico, they have to be careful how they defend, because they've given up 3 free throws twice. And they're able to respond thanks to Dwight Gaines. So Gaines starting the third quarter on a hot note after a rough first half for him. He ended the first half with only 2 points, and he has more than that as he goes up to 8. At the start of the game, it was Jeremy Wilmore who scored the team's first 6 points, and he has been silent since. Puerto Rico shooting below 35%. New Zealand now shooting at 51% off of the missed triple. Game is tied at 43. A nice dance into the lane, and it's sent off for Rodriguez. Jump shot, no good. Liam Coe getting by Pryor and gets the extra pass down, and it's splish splash cash once again for Marco Sula. That's his second triple as we play 2 minutes into the third. Gaines weaves his way out of everybody. Wilmore on the pull-up. No. Second chance coming up for Puerto Rico, but it's snatched back by Coe. It's Kate now. And he can't get the layup to go, but it's tipped right back in. Zach Rampton now on the scoreboard. Running layup doesn't go either. Here is Coe having trouble with it. Sula doesn't go 3 for 3. 5-point New Zealand lead. Here's Arroyo from downtown. No good. Kate is able to pick it up. Liam Coe with the ball again, and he goes right side and banks it home. So it was a tie ball game a moment ago, but New Zealand has scored 7 points unanswered to get them back into this game. Wide open look as it continues to splash down for Dwight Gaines. He's making up for a rough start in which he started 0 for 6. He was 0 for 4 at the start of the game against Slovenia, but he found his footing and was able to knock them down like you wouldn't believe.
Next game for Puerto Rico will be against Turkey. I'll be calling that game on Tuesday. And the last time those two teams have met was in group play in the 2018 U17 Basketball World Cup. So it's been a while. Ball taken by Arroyo. Gaines on the fake, and he tiptoes on the sideline. Puerto Rico has to be careful of where they're getting ready because it can make them or break them. And a foul this time on Rosado. Rosado can't believe it. That is foul number 2 for Rosado. Marco Sula, who has the hot hand, plays it to Pryor. He gets it back, doesn't use the screen on Rampton, takes it in himself, counted and one. Sula making it smooth as he's dominating in the third quarter. He has at least 8 points in this frame alone. The difference is 6 right now. Sula with 10 points, 8 of those 10 coming in the third quarter, and we've played almost 4 minutes into the second half. New Zealand limited Puerto Rico to only 8 points at the end of the first quarter and gave up 29 points, and now they have limited Puerto Rico to 9. The free throw isn't good. Gaines putting the moves on Kate, puts him through the spin cycle, slips on the floor, and still able to lob it off to Yadiel Sanchez. Despite being in jeopardy, he found a bailout option, and this time Sanchez went right in. A lob underneath leads into an offensive foul. Jackson Coe leaning into the body, which forced the foul. New Zealand have 2 players with 3 fouls. That is Cecil and Coe at the moment. Cecil, their top scorer, spending more time on the bench than on the court. Whistle off of the loose ball. Noah Duncan and Daylene Pohio in for New Zealand. Noah Duncan, all he had to do was stretch his hands, and he intercepted that ball perfectly. Alexis Fuentes called for, well, got the turnover, but it's Yadrick Torres on the foul. Sula. And New Zealand turns it over. Once again, the baseline and sidelines becoming a lot of trouble for both of these teams, because they were in motion trying to get to their spot instead of being planted. So they did not have any time to recuperate. Dwight Gaines, oh, make it rain. It's rain for Gaines as he's able to get the move and the trifecta. 52-51 is the score. Sula can't make it rain this time. Rebound picked up by Albino. Another 3. No dice this time. Torres tried to get the ball, but is unable to win that battle. Sula goes all the way. And a Sula serve makes it 54-51. Very good start to the second half for both of these teams. A close one, to say the least. Gaines, who was ice cold in the first half, picking it up in the second. 3 ball from Albino, doesn't fall. And we'll see where the ball was last touched It was last touched by Fuentes. Something to point out too, Teferi Kate is back into the lineup for New Zealand. And Jackson Cooper will toss the ball in. And ball nearly intercepted by Albino, but he slipped and took a hard fall on the sideline. Man's able to get right back up. Again, you're tuned in to the FIBA U17 Basketball World Cup from Istanbul. And we're wrapping things up in Group Day number 2. Kate looking to serve one up to Duncan, but it was met by 2 white shirts, and Gaines has the rock. Gaines looking to make a move, and luckily Torres is able to get right back up. He ramages his way to the lane and can't get that one down. Duncan underneath and will shoot 2. Puerto Rico over the limit. New Zealand still has 2 fouls to give. Noah Duncan went 3 for 8 yesterday in the loss against Turkey. At a total of 11 and hits the front of the iron. He has yet to get a point with the 6 minutes he's been on the floor, but he has kept busy underneath the basket with 4 boards. And he drops the second one. A 4-point New Zealand lead over Puerto Rico at the moment. 3:41 remaining in the third. And Yoderick Torres has the rock. He has 4 points today. And it's off to Fuentes with 7 points. Lopez on the floor. Goes off glass, no good. Fuentes picks it right back up. Fights his way, but can't get the second chance. And the ball stripped by Gaines. He had a poke at it, and it's an aggressive foul on Daylene Pohio. A great sense of urgency from Dwight Gaines, because it appeared that New Zealand was going to calm it down, so they were taking their time getting past the half-court line. And out came Gaines, right out of a cannon, to pick off the ball. And here is Gaines skying high and can't get the deuce. Ball nearly intercepted by Lopez, or Albino, I should say. Sula left open, same with Pohio, no. And it appears to be another technical foul. And it is a technical foul. So free throw and the ball for New Zealand. And it's Yoderick Torres who's talking with the referee right now. He got assigned the technical, and the free throw is good. A lot of aggression from Puerto Rico defensively and off the ball too. They have kept this game close, but now they have to buckle up and make sure that they play smart basketball for the next 12 minutes and 58 seconds here in regulation. They are behind by 5, and it goes to Cooper. Cooper all alone, and he banks it. Jackson Cooper, notice the miscommunication, got the in and out dribble, and he was just walking down Main Street at that point. Here is Fuentes, the southpaw shooter, unable to hit. Albino bails him out with the board. And got contact, and that was New Zealand's foul to give. So both teams will go to the bonus the rest of the quarter. Fuentes and Gaines will shoot it from the parking lot and fills it up. Two-score game once again, and Puerto Rico, they are besides themselves right now with all these fouls. Again, the sense of urgency is there, but you have to play carefully. Orlando Pantoja getting an explanation from one of the officials today. And Cooper, he'll shoot two and misses the first one. New Zealand now shooting below 60% at the foul line after going 65% yesterday. With Cooper splitting the pair, it is now 59-54. Fuentes up top. Takes it to the near side. Albino, guarded by Sula, goes down to the big man Fuentes, who falls away, falls short. Shot doesn't go down. Yadrick Torres almost had it down. And Sula has trouble. They reset. Now he goes one-on-one with Arroyo. And Sula will gather himself up for two shots. The other game that is happening right now, Turkey, the host team, defeating Slovenia 85-64 with under a minute to go. And assuming things hold on, Turkey will go 2-0 in group play after defeating this very New Zealand team, in which took 2 extra periods in order to prevail 112-100 yesterday. So Turkey on its way to a 2-0 start. Lithuania also has a 2-0 start, same with USA. And Sula makes it a 6-point game. Over here in this one, a close one since the start of the second quarter. Puerto Rico, cold start, a hot second quarter, and they're bouncing right back into this one. Here's Albino, can't drain it. Lopez fighting hard for the rebound, but it's picked up by Fuentes instead. Goes to the paint, locates Torres, fires from the corner, and it's off the mark. Cade immediately pushing it to the other side. He gets it back, misses the teardrop, and follows through. Most of the Puerto Rico players had their backs turned off of the miss and did not respond pretty well. 8-point game. Albino stopped at the baseline, and Kate takes it back. Kate serves it up to Sula. Sula gets contact. New Zealand, 14 of 24 at the foul line. That's below 60%. In shooting, they have shot 52.6%. You compare that to Puerto Rico at the foul line, they're 5 of 10, which is 50, and 31% for them overall. And Sula having trouble at the first shot. Sula has scored 12 points, matching his jersey number in the third quarter, and he now has a total of 15 as he goes 3 for 6 for the day. 29 seconds to go. New Zealand extending their lead after a rough second quarter. They have been able to respond, and Puerto Rico has had trouble in the last 10 minutes. Shot clock reads 3. It's lobbed up to Albino, catch and shoot off the top. Down to 4, Kate has it, and Kate will let it fly. And it almost went down. He called glass, but it wouldn't go down the hatch. Nonetheless, New Zealand leads Puerto Rico 63-54 after the third quarter. The line score in this frame alone, New Zealand 23, Puerto Rico 17. We'll be back for the fourth quarter in just a moment.
What do you think?
Oh my goodness, get out of here.
That corner Magni and Bruno.
And then you've got this woman here, Asia.
And what a finish.
Didn't overplay as well. Players without playing one-on-one.
Because she's excited with passion. 4 rebounds, 6 assists.
Roberts, you gotta love it.
Buckets at the buzzer.
And these fans here at Kobe, they love it. They absolutely love seeing.
New Zealand, who's being led by Jaden Cecil with 17 points, leads by 9 into the fourth quarter. But Jaden Cecil has been silent in scoring because he is in foul trouble with a total of 3. And so far, it has been Marco Sula that's been picking up the ball for New Zealand. He only had 2 points in the first half. He capitalized on 13 of those points in the third quarter alone for a total of 15 in 22 minutes of play. For Puerto Rico, they're being led by Dwight Gaines, who started out 0 for 6, and he has 17 big ones as we begin the fourth quarter. Puerto Rico ball as they are playing catch-up. And that's been the case for most of the games, but they have kept it pretty close. Yomar Rodriguez into the game as he tries to match his jersey number. He falls flat on that try. Puerto Rico has to play with great discipline. They've had a couple of technical fouls and a couple of fouls which resulted into free throws after fouling beyond the arc. Gaines gets it down. And Dwight Gaines is now in the 20-point club. He has a total of 52 points out of the last 2 games. That's an average of 26 points per game. On the drive, tough shot. Works out for Liam Coe. Liam Coe, another bucket. That is his second field goal of the day. Lopez surveying the floor. Ball almost taken away. Rosado going toe-to-toe on Patton. 3 on the shot clock, bullies his way to the basket and gets the fadeaway. That is just perfect. Perfect separation with Rosado cutting the difference to now 6. Ko tries another one. Doesn't work. And a technical foul this time going to New Zealand. So Puerto Rico, 1 shot and the ball. That is the 3rd technical foul called in this game. The first 2 went to Puerto Rico, 1 on the coach, 1 on Yoderick Torres. And this time the technical foul goes to Liam Ko. And Gaines, the right person to go to the foul line, gets that one to go. Dwight Gaines, throughout the U17 Basketball World Cup, is now 7 of 9 at the foul line. Went 5 of 6 yesterday and has been a perfect 2 for 2. And Wilmore rings it up. It is 63-65, loose ball and a loose ball foul going on Kate. Michael Portilla, who played nearly 2 minutes today, has come up with what could be an important steal and could lead to some stunning turn of events when we return. Here's the story in the 4th quarter. Puerto Rico bouncing back, and they have forced New Zealand into 3 team fouls with less than 2 minutes going by here in the 4th. They'll have the ball when we come back.
How many times are we going to say this? Baseline. Are you kidding me?
Papa Nicolau says, give it to me.
Chicago attacks the closeout, feeds Bruno inside.
Fills it up. It's all right.
A strong start for Puerto Rico here in the 4th quarter. However, Portilla could not get the free throw to go down prior to the timeout. There was a personal foul on Cecil, which gave him 4. Actually, my mistake, looking at the play-by-play. So what happened was there was an unsportsmanlike foul on Tahiri Kate, which led into 2 free throws for Portilla, and he missed both of them. Gaines going for the go-ahead 3, and foul with Luis Rosado looking to slice right into the basket. So Gaines missed the 3, and it was Rosado on the offensive board. Puerto Rico could tie or go ahead by 1. Portilla outside to Gaines. Doesn't get it. And Gaines comes up with a steal. Underneath, Rosado for the tie. And hits. Luis Rosado putting his muscle into it, and it's 65 all. Breaking free, Lawson Pryor can't get the reverse down. Puerto Rico looking for their first lead in quite some time. Portilla going outside and throws it immediately to Pryor. Pryor to Sula, loose ball on the deck, and it's taken by Rodriguez. Somebody has to slow the tone of the game down just a bit. A wild start to the fourth quarter. And now Puerto Rico's in the driver's seat. Gaines, the teardrop, almost got it down. They'll have to earn those 2 points the old-fashioned way. And coming into this game, Puerto Rico was ranked 21st in the FIBA World Rankings. New Zealand placed 12th. But in the power rankings for U17 competition, well, these two are just right next door of each other. New Zealand 10, Puerto Rico 11. Puerto Rico getting their first win in group play against Slovenia yesterday, looking to make it 2-0 for a good start. And they are up by 2. And a quick steal, Yadarick Torres outside. Rodriguez, can he match his jersey number? You bet. It is raining threes here in Istanbul. It is now 70-65, the largest lead for Puerto Rico. They are looking for an upset here to wrap up day 2. Here's the kick out. Long shot isn't good. Lopez on the board. Torres pushes it out to Gaines. Short on the 3. And Torres snatches the loose ball. Rodriguez putting the moves on Pryor and plays it back to Torres. Torres has to drive. He takes it over Sula. High arcing banker. Bank definitely open on the weekend as Yadarick Torres makes it a 7-point game. Kate serves it over. 3 goes. Cooper with one of the easiest looks he's going to get here in the U17 Basketball World Cup. You're watching it live on the FIBA YouTube channel. Gaines, one-legger, no good. Rosado fighting hard for the rebound, but it's Jackson Cooper who picks up the ball. And New Zealand running up the floor, good ball movement, and it's Torres who finds a way to get the rebound. He charges through, he sends it over. Yomar Rodriguez steps on the line. Yomar Rodriguez heads to the bench with 5:31 remaining in regulation. New Zealand now has to play carefully. They were out of fouls to give. Rodriguez is out. Jeremy Wilmore back in. Wilmore scored Puerto Rico's first 6 points of the game. Jaden Cecil back into the lineup. He is playing with 4 fouls. Fuentes and Rodriguez also in for Puerto Rico, and their fortune's about to change. Here is Wilmore going all the way. It's back up to 6. And here is Cecil, tough shot, doesn't go. We're at the halfway mark in the fourth quarter. Here's the lead pass to Torres, who can't drain it. And Darrell Rodriguez picks up the foul. New Zealand will get the ball back. Still a close game. And you have to think about this too. New Zealand coming off of a double overtime loss yesterday. And you have to wonder if they have enough gas to come back from this 6-point deficit. Wilmore with a bounce pass to Torres. And Torres feeds it immediately to Gaines. Gaines having trouble as he takes on Cooper, gets the space, but doesn't get the tray. And it's taken back by Wilmore. Wilmore taking on the big man Rampton. we'll have a break. It is timeout, with Puerto Rico leading 74-68. 4 minutes and counting here in the fourth quarter. Puerto Rico calls time. This has been an interesting second half. And at first, it looked like New Zealand was going to run away with it after leading 19-8 at the end of the first quarter, but they were outscored 29-21 to cut their lead to 2 into the break. And New Zealand in the fourth quarter being outscored 20-5. Wilmore falling down and gets right back up. And now Puerto Rico up by 6 with seconds ticking away on the clock. Fuentes takes it, and it goes off the top. Liam Coe out to Cecil. Cecil picked up immediately by Yoderick Torres. Cecil driving to the left side, and he gets it in. The teardrop works wonders as it's back to a 2-score game. Three ball, Torres way outside, but Darrell Rodriguez answers the call. 7-point ball game. What a way to close out day number 2 in group play. Off the double team is Jaden Cecil, who heads to the line. Cecil playing with foul trouble. He is 1 away from being disqualified, and he's on the precipice of 20 points. He is 4 for 9 at the line. And Cecil has only played 21 minutes due to picking out fouls early on. And he is now 7 of 12 in the last 2 days at the line. Big moment right here for New Zealand. They know if Puerto Rico fouls one more time, both teams will be in the bonus the rest of the way. Rampton's turn at the line, and he's good as gold on number 1. Rampton with only a field goal and both free throws, a total of 4, which incidentally is the difference now. Gaines outside, another go-ahead shot. Not working in Puerto Rico's side this time around. Puerto Rico looking to do what Team USA and Turkey has already accomplished today, and that is to go 2-0 in group play. We are in Group C competition. New Zealand looking to bounce back after falling in double overtime yesterday, and they were up by 11 at the end of the first quarter in this game. Yesterday, they gave up 37 points to Turkey in the fourth quarter, which forced overtime. And they had a 25-point lead during that game, too. And New Zealand committing another foul, meaning free throws are on the way. Two shots for Gaines. Gaines had 32 yesterday in the victory against Slovenia. He's at 27 now. "28 points for Gaines as he continues to balloon the lead, 79-73. The only one in the backcourt is Rodriguez, and he's causing a lot of fits. New Zealand avoids the 8-second count. Kate against Rodriguez. Blows by Rodriguez and hits it. He maneuvered his way to the bucket for another two. And we are down to 2 minutes to go in the game. Here comes Fuentes on the pick. Gaines with the fake out. Rodriguez for three. Too strong. Rosado got poked in the eye. Luis getting time to compose himself for the two free throws. Zach Rampton was called for the foul. And Rampton now has 3 fouls. Liam Coe and Jaden Cecil are the only ones with 4. And that may be a huge factor in the final moments of regulation because Cecil has been taking over for New Zealand in this quarter alone. He has a total of 20. And for Liam Coe, not as effective as he was the other day. But his presence is definitely missed after scoring 20 points yesterday. Second free throw off the mark for Rosado, but he finds some way to get the rebound. It ping-ponged all over the place, and Rosado was able to get his hands up in the air. Driving by, Gaines, the teardrop, got it. And who else but Dwight Gaines to make it rain. Another 30-point performance, and both clubs thought it was a timeout. Nope. Remember, in FIBA play, a basket made after under the 2-minute mark in the fourth quarter could give coaches a time to make a substitution. They don't need a timeout for that. Nice fake out from Coe as he blitzes through the lane. Has that denied by Gaines. He's having trouble putting the clamps down to the ball. Taken away by Torres, and Torres gets contact. Let's take a look at the loose ball situation. It was Torres and Sula. And Sula, unfortunately for him, called for his second foul. Showtime for Torres as the first one hits the bottom of the barrel. 7 points for Torres, along with 4 free throws. Let's look at those rebounds first and foremost. Only a +1 That's the difference, 47-46. And Torres doubles down. And Puerto Rico and their fans coming to their feet as they are up by 8. New Zealand, they have dropped another sizable lead, and they only have 1 minute and 23 seconds to make up for it. They're behind by 8. They'll have the rock. Since the start of the second half, Puerto Rico has dropped 46 points and has limited New Zealand to 35. They have limited New Zealand to 12 points here in the fourth quarter while dropping 29. Big welcome to ITI Artins, who's now part of the MVP tier club on our FIBA YouTube membership program. Ball back into play. Sula tried to save it, and Ko is able to bail him out while it stays with New Zealand. We are the only game left in day number 2. Turkey going 2-0. Puerto Rico looking for the same result. Nice fade away from Cecil. Doesn't go down the hatch this time. Jeremy Wilmore avoiding everybody. The baseball pass taken away by Rampton. Down the floor is Kate as he is met at the rim by Rosado. A clutch block. Outside, 3-ball, Gaines off the mark. Somebody in the background not happy with the last call. Torres and Gaines was fighting for the ball. And regardless, that leads Puerto Rico over the limit. .42 to go in the game. And Cecil is fouled. Cecil has 2 more free throws coming up for him. 5 of 11. And a total of 20 points to his name. He has scored 62 points in the last 2 games. If you do the math, that is an average of 31 points per game. Take Dwight Gaines, for example. He dropped 32 yesterday, and you add his 30. He's averaging 31 a game. Cecil easily makes the first. This game is far from over despite the time on the clock. A 7-point game in which New Zealand has led for over 28 minutes. And the second is good. Nice pass, which leads to a Wilmore pass as he receives it. Rosado and Puerto Rico playing keep away. They know if they get fouled, they're going back to the line. Sidestep with 7. Wilmore on the fake. Goes with 5. Locates Gaines. He fires it. No good. And the shot clock is off, so Cecil has no choice but to hustle and bustle to the other lane. Torres picks it up. And a foul by Kate. And it looked like Yoderis Torres just wanted this game to end. He was ready to say goodnight. Two more free throws. And the fans are coming to their feet. Torres buries the first one. For the first ever meeting between Puerto Rico and New Zealand in FIBA U17 play, it was a good one. Torres gets the second one. And New Zealand will use the timeout with 6.5 seconds to go. Puerto Rico on their way to a 2-0 start. New Zealand led for most of the first half and then saw that lead disappear at the start of the fourth quarter, and Puerto Rico has not looked back since then. With 6 seconds to go, will be Tafuri Kate to throw the ball in. He looks for Cecil, who misses the three. And Puerto Rico starts group play with a 2-0 record. They worked hard for this one. After only scoring 8 points in the first quarter, they responded with a vengeance. And they have toppled New Zealand 85-77. A shocking turn of events, with New Zealand now dropping with an 0-2 record, and Puerto Rico on the reverse side of it, 2-0. A 31-point fourth quarter from Puerto Rico helped them seal the deal and gave New Zealand a rough fourth quarter. Their least amount of points they've scored in this game, 14 in the final frame. Jaden Cecil ended up with 22 points. Jackson Cooper with 14. Marco Sula, who was red hot in the third quarter, he ended up with a total of 15. Puerto Rico, well, I think it's safe to say what was New Zealand's loss was Puerto Rico's gains. Dwight Gaines ended up with 30 points. There was one more player in double-digit figures, and that was Yoderis Torres, who was strong on and off the ball in the third and fourth quarter. He ends up with a total of 10 points and 6 rebounds. Puerto Rico ended up with 51 rebounds, New Zealand 48. The name of the game had to have been turnovers. There were 16, or 12, I should say, for Puerto Rico's side. For New Zealand, 29, and that's rough considering who they have to play up against next. They have Slovenia on Tuesday, and Puerto Rico's last game in group play will be against Turkey, in which I will have the call for that. And that will be their first ever meeting since meeting in group play in the 2018 FIBA U17 basketball. Yeah. That will do it for us in day 2 of group play here from Istanbul, Turkey. The final score, once again, Puerto Rico 85, New Zealand 77. Puerto Rico, a 2-0 record in Group C play. They are currently tied in first place with Turkey. That's it for us. We hope you're able to enjoy the rest of your day wherever you may be, and join us again for the third and final day of group competition here from Istanbul, Turkey. The action all begins on Tuesday. And check your times and YouTube for all the links for all the broadcasts. It will get underway with Italy taking on USA, and Jacinda Govin will have the call for that to get things started. And it will wrap up with New Zealand versus Slovenia. Justin Taylor will be on the call for that. We have a slate of games. Just check the FIBA website for more information on this tournament. Thank you all for tuning in wherever you may be. And remember, there are plenty of good sports out there, so you be one too. For our great fans around on YouTube, for Coco and Ollie, everyone else around the world, and our FIBA staff, this be Aaron Sanders saying so long from the FIBA U17 Basketball World Cup.